to share with managers across the globe. It's not that I expect that every coral reef on the planet will look like Palmyra, that it'll look like Kingman, or look like any of these intact reefs on the planet. But I think that there are things that we can learn if we know how a coral reef should work. The medical analogy is always the best, right? If you wanted to understand how to make sure that we all stay healthy, you don't necessarily study the person that's, you know, whatever all the bad habits are, smoking, drinking, whatever else that we all call bad habits, not wearing seatbelts. No, you study a person, you study an athlete, somebody whose body's working well. And you think, how can I make sure that everybody gets the most close to that athlete? Currently, as we study coral reefs, we study those ill people, those people not taking good care of themselves. And we try to imagine that we can make a management practice that makes sense. And we can't. We simply can't, unless we think about that healthy individual. That's what the Remote Pacific offers us. Okay, now why am I the only person talking about this right now? Me and a subset of colleagues. Why do I say that still most of the science happens in these little field stations? Because it's really hard to get to. We're people, we like to fish. We're people and we have sewage that needs to go somewhere. We impact the environment around us. So anywhere that people live in sufficient densities, we're going to change the ecosystem somewhat. And that's the way the future is, and it's fine. We need to find the way that we can interact with the ecosystem the right way. The only places where we can learn about these intact ecosystems are places far away from people. And that's the middle of the Pacific. It's the Indian Ocean. It's thinking about remote parts of the Caribbean. How do we get there? Ship-based. We take vessels out to these islands to try to learn from the coral reefs. We show up a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and we launch scuba divers. We're all scuba diving based. Get in the water, count things. We currently work in teams of about 15 to 20 people, and the way we've been setting it up is through these large expeditions. We've to date visited the Northern Line Islands, 1,000 miles south of Hawaii. The Southern Line Islands, which are north of Tahiti, about 800 miles they start. The Phoenix Islands, which are to the equatorial and to the west. So this remote part, you look at a map of the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, it's right in the middle. This is probably one of the few audiences where people will actually know where a lot of these places